course, the news shows up to my workplace when I have to leave. Like, how inconsiderate. Since nobody's around, I can take that off. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Carson and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I have someone giving me a death glare from across the street. I'm just kidding, I don't think they're looking at me like that. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to part 1 and I think part 2 of Demi Lovato's Dancing with the Devil. I have been waiting for this for 2 years. I am so excited. There's so much I have to say, but before I say any of that, I just want to say thank you for 100 subscribers. Yeah! I've been working so hard on this YouTube channel to get it to that number for so long. I don't know why that number. I think just the thought of reaching that number was so foreign to me. And now, like, just the timing of it all. We hit 100 subscribers on St. Patrick's Day, which means a lot to me because last year on St. Patrick's Day, I wasn't sober and I was miserable. And in this St. Patrick's Day, I got to spend it with the writing community on Instagram, and we hit 100 subscribers, and it was a blast. Doesn't matter if you've been with me on this journey for days, weeks, months, years. I just want to say thank you and that you are loved and valued and so important to me. And I am so excited that very, very soon I'll be able to make even more content for you guys, which is always so exciting. Like I mentioned on Twitter recently, I'm going to be changing some things up with my content. And one thing I've really wanted to do was a reaction style video. And this just feels like the right time to do it. I want to learn about what happened. I do know some spoilers thanks to the internet, but I'm really excited to see this documentary. I'm really excited to learn more about where she's at in her journey. And yeah. But before we do any of that, let's do our Duck of the Day shout out. This week, our Duck of the Day is Marn. They happen to be one half of the iconic couple Whim Gliders. If you follow them on Instagram, you know what I mean when I mean iconic. Like, they are style and aesthetic goals. Oh my God. And they also share a lot of incredible content for LGBTQIA people. So I highly encourage you to go follow both Marn's personal account and their account with their partner. Whim Gliders, they're just incredible. By the way, when I say they, I'm not talking about the couple. I'm referring to Marn's pronouns. Please respect people's pronouns. Marn used my prompt stars from the February prompt list. If you have not seen already, we have the March prompt list out now, and the April prompt list should be out very, very soon at the time of uploading this video. So yeah, get on these posts, guys. I'm running out of ducks. Please, I want to shout you out. I want to give you attention. But with that out the way, let's read Marn's piece. When we first met, I mistook you for a black hole. But you're a galaxy, and you swallowed me whole. My world and your world danced and twirled in the darkness. We move here and there, high on this atmosphere, but I fear. My stars, they reach out to yours. Your planets realign with me. But then my stars burn out, and my planets change their route. That's our tragedy. I love you, you love me, but never simultaneously. Ouch, that hurts my heart. Oh, wow, that is star-crossed lovers to the max. First of all, like I said, aesthetic goals. Secondly, you describe star-crossed lovers beautifully, and I love it. I have no words. I'm like speechless. So again, if you want to check out Marn or their page with their partner, I'm going to have the links to that in the description bar down below. Also, if you are watching this video and you have absolutely no idea what's going on and you just want to get to Demi Lovato, let me just do a quick intro. For those of you who don't know, hi, my name is Carson Bohdi. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a poet, a songwriter, a mental health advocate, and I'm also obsessed with ducks. And if any of that interests you, give this video a thumbs up, comment below your favorite Demi Lovato song, and subscribe. Also, hit that post notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. Now, let's get into the reaction. I am so excited. Whew. This episode contains content surrounding addiction and eating disorders, which may be triggering for some. Yep. If you knew someone you know you support those places, great. Thank you for that disclaimer. I think it's very important. Oh yeah, she mentioned Rock in Rio. Oof. Oh. Oh, her mom. Whoa.
I think this was the best show you have ever done. And you know what? It's just only going to get better from here.
Yeah.
Oof. I remember that from the trailer. She does not look happy there at all. Yep. Ooh.
It's just a little red wine, I'll be fine.
Oh.
Not like I wanna do this every night.
Oh. Chills. Those lyrics. Chills. COVID. Fucking COVID. Oh my god. In spring 2020, Demi was finally ready to tell her full stories as cameras rolled on a new documentary.
I've been working on trying to be free for 13 years.
What?
The U.S. tour was absolutely a dream come true, obviously, professionally, but it, emotionally was miserable.
You know, I wasn't showing them what I was doing behind closed doors.
That felt very disingenuous at the time to talk about prior to actually
She
being
was
on
her
the other
former
side of
sober
something.
companion. I did not know that. And she was a feature on her album, Waiting For Ya. I loved that song.
That you suppress a part of yourself. It's
I
gonna,
know what that's like. Yeah. Overflow.
at some point. And
Yeah.
that's ultimately like what happened to me.
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Por americana, Demi Lovato.
Superstar Demi Lovato. TMZ.
Yeah, I want to pause first. I remember this day because I was supposed to go see her in concert on like the 28th. She was supposed to perform in Toronto, and I broke. I literally had this concert to look forward to that was keeping me sober and sane. And when that happened, I broke my own sobriety with alcohol, and I kept it hidden for about 3 months before it started to spiral even worse than it ever had gone before. So we both had this thing happen in 2018 in regards to addiction where it just, everything overflew. Like, I don't know what, we're probably going to hear what made her overflow and everything happen, but like, so far, everything that's being said, we've kind of already seen in the documentary trailer. So I'm curious as to what to expect next.
She's really lucky to be alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is lucky to be alive, more than we know, apparently.
I crossed a line that I had never crossed in the world of addiction. It's interesting that it took me a quarantine to work on this trauma stuff. I have never really taken the time.
Honey, I feel ya.
Dig deep and do the work on.
I dug deep and did a lot of work for like the 2 years after, like 2019, 2020, but like not really until the pandemic hit, you know? I feel like a lot of us didn't really properly take time to reflect. I thought I was taking time to reflect. Oh boy, was I not. Like, I can't even like begin to go into depth about it for myself, so I can't imagine what it's like for her. Chills.
Ooh, when I turned around and saw my dad in those pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Something about, like, I saw him in rehearsal, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I was drinking vodka out of a Sprite bottle at 9 in the morning, throwing up in the car. And I just remember thinking, this is no longer cute, this is no longer fun. And I'm just like my dad.
I definitely think that she had some things that were underlying
that she was trying to self-medicate, just like I was trying to do when I was taking Xanax. I was trying to self-medicate. You know, she was around for some of the abuse from my first husband.
That does not surprise me in the slightest. It's very real. It's very real.
And that's why it hurts me so bad when I hear stories of people saying, you know, my family member chose addiction over me. My family member chose alcohol over me, chose this over me. I know too much about addiction and mental illness to think that that's all there is to it.
I also felt a lot of guilt over the years.
Thank you for saying that.
I've been such an advocate.
Because people assume you're just picking it because you want to pick it and that you're selfish. And what they don't see is the shame behind it. The shame and the isolation. Isolation plays a massive role in addiction from every addict I know, and even myself. The times that were the darkest for me, nobody saw. And I didn't want anyone to see it because I was ashamed of it. Only one person who really saw how bad it got for me. And to this day, I hold a lot of regret for having that person see that, because that day was traumatic for me, so I can't even imagine how it was for them. And they know who they are, and I highly doubt that they're watching this video, but if you are, I sincerely apologize for that. It is, without a doubt, one of the biggest regrets I have in my life.
And I hadn't helped him the way that I would have helped other people, or the way that I had been preaching about, and that really ate up.
That's the difficult thing. There are ways in which you can help someone who's an addict, and there are times where you have to walk away. You never know how you're going to react in those situations. And if someone were to come up to me now and say, how do I handle my family member? They're an addict. You do not have to stay around an addict if it is harming your mental health. If there is anything that I can say positive about the people who walked out of my life, it's that I respect the fact that they took care of their mental health in that moment when I was really low and they couldn't handle it anymore. It's hard to say that, but it's the truth. There's ways to go about it where you're not an asshole, because it is going to affect them, and there's definitely this fear that it's going to make their addiction worse. And sometimes it does make their addiction worse. But at the end of the day, if you cannot function around someone, you don't have to have them in your life. And if you love them and you're willing to stay with them, but you need distance, that's okay too. Loving an addict is a really hard thing to do. I know that personally. And you have to balance self-care and patience in whatever way works for you and your mental health and what you can handle.
But ultimately, like, I know that he was kind of too far gone at that point. He needed to realize that he needed help himself.
Yeah. If someone doesn't want to get help, there's nothing you can do. And if they want to get help for you, they're not going to get help.
Of course, I'm going to be super competitive and try to be the best at everything that I do.
There's so many people that
and you're an artist, you're a perfectionist.
Place to help her so she wouldn't relapse in her eating disorder, but it totally backfired. Like that.
You don't control someone with an eating disorder. I'm sorry, hold on. You do not control someone's food with an eating disorder. I don't care if foods trigger them. If they can't be around you eating something, don't eat that around them, fine. But actually controlling someone's diet, that is absolutely abhorrent, and I cannot believe that our team actually did that. That is just I have no words.
A part of the problem is too, is like the sketches that they draw. Everything looks good on a sketch because it's a 10-foot,
what?
90-pound model.
What
I used to look up to. That shit's really triggering.
I started relapsing in my eating disorder. I was already...
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe they put her face on that thing. What the fuck is wrong with people? Women get so much shit for their bodies, whether they are heavy, thin, got a big butt or not, doesn't matter. Your body is your identity to most of the world for some fucking reason. And I cannot stand it. Like, even me, I'm gonna say something that, if any of my coworkers are watching this video, hi. But what I get a lot, particularly at work, is eat more, you can't, you're just too skinny. I don't get a choice in how thin or how heavy I am, which is very upsetting because they don't realize that I am currently at the healthiest and heaviest I've ever been. And I'm so happy about that. And that is in large part due to my sobriety. So when I hear people say that I'm thin, and like I hear thin, I think sick. Because when I was in the worst of my drinking, I weighed very, very little. I'm not going to say the number because I do not want to trigger anyone, but I didn't weigh a healthy weight. Fucking DJ Khaled, man, I can't. Aw, Demi. 1 month after the show, Demi relapsed with drugs and alcohol. Within 3 months, she would be fighting for her life. Yeah, it really can happen that quick.
I had a photo shoot, and I remember being at the photo shoot and just thinking to myself, like, I don't even know why I'm sober anymore. Like, I am so miserable. I'm not happy. I just so happened to run into my old drug dealer from 6 years before, and like the odds of that happening was crazy.
Yeah.
We like had a duffel bag, and I just went to town. I went on a shopping spree. That night I did drugs that I'd never done before. I'd never done meth before. I tried meth. I mixed it with Molly, with Coke, weed, alcohol, Oxycontin, and like that alone should have killed me.
Yeah.
Well,
it was only like 2 weeks before I was introduced to heroin and crack cocaine. I started
smoking something. And so I walk over to her and I grab it and I'm like, what the f are you up to, bro? Like,
oh
this
God,
is
Sarah.
not it. And she didn't even notice I was there, you know? And I was horrified and devastated.
And it was on that trip that I actually wrote Sober.
Yeah.
I got no excuses for all
I guess this is a good time to mention this. Next week, I'm putting out a song that I wrote on St. Patrick's Day last year called Sober, ironically. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified to put that video out. And the fact that this documentary came out at the same time as all that's happening and I'm approaching 1 year of sobriety, it's just like really weird timing and it's causing me to reflect a lot. And I kind of wrote it in a similar place where I was like, yeah, I'm dependent on this shit again. And I didn't know what else to do. And at the time that I wrote it, I didn't want to get sober. I'd given up. I'd given up pretending like I was happy. And I feel this hard, like really hard. I'm surprised they filmed this.
When I came...
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I remember this. Is she gonna say that she... I'm curious. Oh, what? Yeah, that was it. Ah! Did you want to say it? She's definitely high on stage. Like, that was obvious. But... did she just forget the words, or did she just didn't want to sing them?
You have to guide your
I wish you got that answer, man.
And you...
Paramedic operator 65. What's the address of the emergency?
We just need to get somebody out here.
Yeah, do you know what happened to her? Okay, I'm gonna be there shortly. Stay with the patient. I'm gonna remain on the line with you all the way until the paramedics arrive. Okay?
Okay, we just need someone to flag them down, right?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Are they gonna... Well, that's the end of episode 1. Jesus Christ. Damn.